Bless everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a brand new weekly reading. Rissa Vibes here, aka Readings by Rissa. Let me know if you can see me, if you can hear me good. Super excited to tap in this week. We are covering a brand new week in a brand new month. And we are going to be really diving deep into the energy of this week, as we always do, as well as the spirit messages of this week, and just getting a really good feel for how we need to navigate this week based on the energy so that we can really experience it with the most grace and ease, okay? So shout out to my Web of Light tribe out there. Thanks for joining me. If this is a regular experience for you every Sunday, welcome back. If it's not, and this is your first time joining, welcome as well. We're so excited to have you here. And this is really just an amazing opportunity for us all to respect and honor and tap into our own intuition together, and to really know that we're not alone in the ways in which we choose to move forward in our community and in our awareness and mindfulness and consciousness on this planet. So excited to have you. Shout out to everybody joining. Let me know where you're joining from. Let me know how you're feeling this week and this weekend. Let me know if you've got any fun plans this weekend, if you've got any fun things this weekend. So go ahead and keep the comment section lit for me as we dive right in. Let's first do a little review of last week so that we can get a feel for what we experienced last week. So in the beginning of the week last week, I pulled the Life is Better Together card. And this was really an energy of community and connection, and really honoring the ways in which we can come together as a tribe, as a team, our soul tribe, our family, just being able to really honor the ways in which we can lean on each other for support, okay? Then the middle of the week card, I had pulled the Priestess card, which was encouraging us to step more into our intuition, more into our ability to find more truth from our intuitive nudges, more understanding of ourselves and understanding of others and understanding of different experiences through our acceleration of our spiritual gifts, okay? A really beautiful card with the Priestess card, and also a lot of divine feminine energy. We had a lot of big femme energy last week that we talked about. Then at the end of the week, I pulled the Dreams card, and this was honoring harvest season. We really understood that as we stepped into more of our abundance, more of the reaping of what that we've sown this year, that we get to really also notice how our dreams are becoming reality. And we get to dream even bigger from the dreams that we've now accomplished. And so it's a beautiful time for us to continue with that energy, since that was the weekend card. And now we get to step in fully to October, with today being October 3rd. And we have the Queen of Heaven card for October, okay? That was the card that we pulled for the annual card reading that I did at the beginning of the year. And so the Queen of Heaven really is kind of a elevation of the Priestess card, where we are stepping even more into our intuitive gifts throughout this month. We do have the thinning of the veil that starts next Sunday, and we've got a lot of exciting things that we get to participate in together as a community for that. But we also have a beautiful connection to the spirit world. That's part of how we, interact with the spirit world every single year, is through the thinning of the veil portal, which is really where, the Samhain holiday comes in, and that was the real traditional aspect of it. And then we also have the Halloween holiday coming in. We've got lots of those kind of honoring of the dead, honoring of the spirit world, honoring of the ancestor celebrations across so many cultures and civilizations in October, because they recognize, and there has been this history of the awareness and mindfulness of all of us as humans, the human history awareness, that we become more connected to the spirit world in October, okay? So we're going to continue to step into that with the Queen of Heaven card that I pulled for the October month, and the thinning of the veil happening on Sunday. I do have a really exciting event that I'm doing on Sunday the 10th, which is going to be, hopefully, let me know if you guys can see me, because, okay, we're good. There's a little arrow that showed up on the streaming service. So let me know if anything gets weird, and we'll still in Mercury retrograde, which we expect some tech stuff to happen with that, right? But yeah, so, really just honoring that. We do have an event on 10/10, which is the evening of Sunday, and that's where I'm going to be doing a masterclass workshop. It's going to be a 2-hour workshop where we're going to dive into what it really means to be intuitive and to tap more into the spirit world. We're also going to discuss, some of the aspects of intention setting that is really important for this time of year, and also just getting that traction going for when we really start to solidify those intentions even more with the new year coming up. So lots of things that we're going to cover in the Thinning of the Veil event, the Queen of Heaven aspect of that for the theme, okay? Also, feel free to get some cacao for that event. That's always going to really help open the heart and deepen your connection even more. I'll make sure to put a link in the description for where I get my cacao. And it is a beautiful, beautiful ceremonial drinking chocolate that we can enjoy together in that virtual event. It'll just open up the portal within ourselves even more. So that event is only going to be 10/10 to join live, and that's going to be in the evening time. I did post the time and everything. It's going to be available in the description of this video as soon as I upload it. That way that the doors open all at the same time and you can go get your ticket. And as soon as you sign up for that event via the link, you'll get an email invoice, and then you'll have the access to the event, all right? So I'm super excited for that, but let's go ahead and dive deep into the actual spirit messages of this week, okay? The first spirit message is letting what's out of balance be in balance, okay? Be settled, be leveled, okay? We're in Libra season, so shout out to all the Libras out there. Super excited. I know I have a lot of Libra soul tribe out there, so shout out to all of you who are celebrating you, and you know who you are. So yeah, that energy of balance is really what the Libra is here to help everybody with, and the Libra energy is really great for harmony and balance. There are aspects of the Libra, though, the shadow aspects of the Libra, that really are more of the extreme back and forth, kind of up and down, back and forth energy, the one extremes to the next, right? And so that's part of the energy of this season, and part of the energy of this message, first off, okay, is that we are going to start seeing the scales being tipped and starting to come into level and balance, and we can only achieve that by honoring the way the pendulum swings pretty extremely at first, until it comes to a beautiful place of harmony and settled peace and balance, okay? So honoring the ways things are moving back and forth, shifting left and right, shifting up and down, so many extremes, and knowing that it's part of the balancing process, okay? We want to really understand that as we see those pendulum swings, it's really source, spirit, the universe showing us what is out of balance, what we need to focus on that hasn't been in the right alignment, that hasn't been really serving the full picture perspective. It hasn't been allowing harmony in all areas of our experience, right? We want to find harmony in our work life. We want to have harmony in our family life, our love life, our spiritual growth and life. We want to feel harmony in our health, our physical body, our emotional body, our mental body, okay? If we're not feeling harmony and balance in those areas, Spirit is showing us right now where there needs to be adjustments made, okay? We're also in the Mercury retrograde, which is where we're reflecting and redirecting energy, so that's also tying in and showing us what's out of balance, whether it's in a relationship or an experience, or the way we're presenting ourselves, or the way we're approaching our own inner awareness. We need to recognize what has been in flux and what hasn't been showing up with consistency and stability, okay? So this is a time of security, stability, and balance for this week, okay? So in that, as we're creating that and manifesting that, we're gonna see what isn't balanced, okay? So you can't expect that everything's going to be peaceful this week, but you can expect that the things that are extreme are there for a reason, to show you what needs to be balanced so that you can find that peace, okay? So pay attention Pay attention. That's a big part of it, okay? What's up, Meredith? What's up, All Connected? What's up, Candace? What's up, Kevin? What's up, PJ? Oh, so good to see all of you. Love it, love it, love it. All right, so tapping into the next message, and I'm gonna pull a card on this one too with the balance. Let's see. I feel like the Ocean Whispers. Maybe this is for a Leslie shout out. Shout out to Leslie. I know it's your birthday today. Shout out, sis. All right. Okay. Inner desires. All right. Inner desires. What this is saying is that we are really starting to become more aware of what we really want based on the way these scales are tipping, the way the extremes are showing up. Those extremes, those roller coasters are showing up, those tippings of the scale, those extreme measures, those extreme aspects, they're showing up to show us what we really want internally. And sometimes we can't figure out our inner desire unless we know what we don't want, right? Unless we see the extreme and we're like, whoa, I definitely don't want that extreme. I definitely don't want that extreme either. I want like a nice balance here, a nice balance here, right? And you can only see that sometimes from those extremes. It says, set some intentions. You are entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. Okay, so this is saying that with the inner desires being more identified from these tippings of the scale, we are then actually opening up to more abundance because we're asking more specifically, we're opening up to receiving what we need because it's so important to us because we're seeing the extremes so presently, and we're actually starting to feel the traction, the magnetism of it because we have an emotional connection to that desire as well. We have a deep urgency, we have a deep like thirst to have that satisfaction, okay, of our inner desire. So beautiful. How's everybody feeling with that card? So really keeping that focus as well. Whatever's out of balance is being leveled, showing us more of what we want truly and how we can balance to get that. All right, next message is everyone is reflecting what you are and what you need to see right now, okay? We are also in a very mirrored experience, especially this week, okay? We are getting more into our multidimensionality because the thinning of the veil is approaching us. We're starting to feel more of that veil kind of showing us what's behind it, right? And as we do, we start to see ourselves, we start to see another aspect of ourselves behind the veil. And that's through our relationships, that's through our interactions with people, that's through the ways we interact with our own self, the aspects of self and the many different parts of ourselves that are always showing up in different times and for different reasons, okay? So in that multidimensionality, we have to recognize that everybody outside of us is also showing us parts of our own multidimensionality, okay? So start recognizing how people show up in your life and what that says about how you show up in life, okay? And also checking in with how you perceive yourself compared to other people in your life and what parts are justifiable and what aren't, because really we're all so connected that when we start to get in areas of judgment or over assessment of differences, it can really cause us to reject parts of ourselves that need healing or need balancing or need just awareness, light of awareness, okay? And sometimes that is exactly why that relationship was put into your life or why that experience or interaction was put into your life, right? And so recognizing the similarities can sometimes bring a more balanced perspective on things as well. And that's a really beautiful experience because when we find balance, we find relief, we find peace, we find an inner calm. Okay, so notice how everyone in your life is reflecting a bit of who you are or whatever you need to see about what you allow into your life or what you allow from yourself or what your relation to that energy really is. All right, let's do a Voyager deck card with that. How's everybody feeling? So there's also a new moon in Libra this week as well on Wednesday. So you know I'll be doing a new moon talk on Wednesday on Instagram. So I'll be doing that Wednesday evening I'll drop the time in the Instagram story so that y'all know what time I'm jumping on. I always make sure to post that. I took a little hiatus from Instagram this last week and actually all social media because I just needed a little break. But I'm back this week and I'm super excited because we're doing that new moon Libra talk on Wednesday, but then I also have the Bone Shaman, and I know last week I talked about releasing the Bone Shaman on the 10th. I thought that might be a lot since we're already doing the thinning of the veil. So instead, I'm going to release the Bone Shaman on the 8th, which is Friday. And that's going to be really fun because we're going to tap into the messages of the Bone Shaman from my BQH session with my dear friend, the Quantum Guide. And that was a channeled session where one of my ancestral / past life guardian guides showed up, and his name's the Bone Shaman. And he talked a lot about a lot of different things, actually some pretty personal messages for me that I just felt like, you know what, I'm just going to be vulnerable, I'm going to put it out there, I'm going to share it because I think it's also still very valuable information for the collective. And he talks a lot about the energy of duality and death and rebirth, which is another message this week, okay? And we'll get to that in just a second because I know we're pulling this card for the one we just talked about. But the Bone Shaman reading is going to be really amazing because we're going to do the channeled release of that BQH session on the rising and the early rising of the day on the 8th, and then y'all can watch it whenever you want. But then I'm going to be going live that evening on YouTube, and we're going to do an actual Bone Shaman reading live. So that's going to be really, really fun. I'm going to start doing these most likely monthly if y'all love them, and if y'all send some love my way via the super chat donations, because that'll really help keep the energy going, because it does take a little bit more energy to get into that channeled state with the Bone Shaman because he's pretty intense but really amazing, and I think just so perfect for the time. So we'll get into more of that later, and I'll release some info on YouTube and on Instagram in regards to more announcements with that. So make sure you're following me at Readings by Rissa on Instagram. Okay, so in relation to the everything and everyone is reflecting something about you and what you need to see, we get the negativity card from the Voyager deck. Now this is really saying that pay attention to the negativity that you're seeing in others, or that you're seeing in reflections of you or interactions, because that is going to help you to see where you need balance in your own negativity. This is the negativity of your own vortex. So how are you pulling in that kind of negativity? What do you need to balance in your life so that you don't continue to bring in that negativity, and also so that you can clear that same type or form of negativity that may be existent within yourself, okay? That's why it's being reflected to you. So it starts to question your tolerance of certain negativity and why that's kind of seeping into your experience, and also questioning your relationship to that negativity. What is it that you like about it that keeps you holding on to it? What is it that you like about the drama or the suspense or the toxicity that makes you continue to go back to it, or continue to allow it in your life, or continue to reinforce it with certain reactionary actions, okay? So noticing that's a big one. That's a big shadow work lesson this week. We've got a lot of influence with shadow work this week. A lot of us are being forced into it in a lot of different ways that may be uncomfortable, but that are super necessary, so we can clear the stuff out that needs to be cleared, so we can open up more to our abundance in this harvest season that we're in, okay? Oh, there's so many messages, and these are messages I didn't even write down in my notes, y'all. It's just like coming out, okay? How are we feeling? How are you feeling? Hi, Natalie. Good to see you as well. Team Scorpio, what's up? Kevin Johnson, love it. Yes, we have Venus in Scorpio right now until the 7th, and then we have Venus going into Sagittarius. That's going to be a big astrology influence. We'll talk about that in a second. Real quick too with the Bone Shaman, since I just got through with this message, I want to just mention about the death and the rebirth of this week. That's also part of the shadow work energy. So we're going to get a lot of messages, I feel like, from the Bone Shaman in that live reading where I'm doing the actual bone casting reading. It's a completely different reading than these card readings. It's really where I'm channeling him and just bringing him forth, and he's, bringing in this symbolic energy as I throw the symbols onto the fabric. And so it's going to be really empowering to be able to let the bone shaman do his thing, because I feel like with the death and rebirth stuff and with the shadow work stuff, I personally, I don't always feel as comfortable delivering those messages or those types of messages. But when I was approached by the bone shaman in the BQH session and also in some meditations before that, he was like really empowering me to let him find the right words and deliver the message the way that would be most necessary, because I tend to be weird with the kind of more dualistic stuff. It still makes me a little uncomfortable sometimes. The shadow stuff, I'm very much like a light angel, or like a very strong like light beam, you know, versus like in my shadow bag all the time. So when it comes to that kind of duality, it sometimes can be a little uncomfortable for me. And everybody's different, you know. Everybody resonates with either the yin or the yang a little bit differently, or more attunely, for different reasons, you know. So I'm the first to admit that's part of my my path, is to give that to my guides to deliver a little bit more accurately or effectively. All right, so next message. So pay attention to the shadow work, essentially. Pay attention to the rebirth and the energy of that. We'll get more messages on that on Friday on YouTube Live, and from the bone shaman. But just really honoring the way that we show up in the meantime, okay? All right, next message. Extremes on either side of the scale are to be expected, and things are leveling out, specifically with love, work, and money. So I know we talked a little bit about that the first message, but with love, work, and money, this is a little bit different, okay? We're wanting to notice how in our love life, our work life, and anything around finances is starting to feel a little bit like unstable or rocky or uncentered, ungrounded, okay? And we want to pay attention to that, all right? Love, work, and finances, okay? When we notice those extremes in those areas, we need to really pay attention, okay? We need to pay attention, and we need to look at what it is that feels unaligned to our desire, okay? Unaligned to our heart. Unaligned to what feels exciting or what feels, desirable or pleasurable to us, okay? If it doesn't feel good to us, then that's a sign that we need to find something to balance that out, whether it's having a conversation, whether it's, redirecting your work career or path, or going for another position, or whether it's starting to put your money in different things, or really, kind of rebalancing your budget in a lot of ways. This is super important, okay? So notice what doesn't feel good. Maybe you notice, my savings account doesn't feel good, I need more in savings. Okay, so what are you going to do to balance that out? What are you going to do moving forward that's going to help you to invest or to save in a way that you need to right now, right? Maybe it's for you in the love life. Oh, my partner and I, our communication's off, right? There's a Mercury retrograde really surfacing a lot of those issues. Maybe it's a conversation you need to have, right, about that, to balance that out, okay? So paying attention to that stuff is really important right now, this week specifically. Let's see what the angels of Atlantis have to offer with that. So, and just paying attention to, really getting back to your intentions from September. What were the things that you wanted? What did you really claim for yourself? What victories did you claim? We talked about that a couple weeks ago. And are the things that you're experiencing right now is still in alignment with the victories that you claimed, or are they less in alignment? Have you fallen from that energy a little bit, or have you leaned more into it? All right, we're getting the trust card on this, okay? Trust your gut, trust what you're feeling, trust that feeling of what doesn't feel right or what doesn't feel pleasurable, okay? Trust that and know that that's your sign from your higher self. That's your sign from your spirit guides that says, hey, it's important to change something here. It's important to redirect something here. It's important to shift it or to face it so that we can find balance, right? So trust what feels good and what doesn't feel good to help you to discern what it is in love, work, and money related issues that needs balancing or redirecting, okay? Or problem solving even at that, okay? Okay, a little cosmic message here. There was some UFO sightings in the UK. Did anybody see the videos of that? If you didn't, you can go to @DisclosureFest. My buddies over there, they posted a pretty cool video of it. But there's some UFO sightings, okay? And what did we talk about last week? We talked about how the ETs are coming. I told y'all they're coming, okay? And we see clips of UFO sightings all the time, but they are getting more and more, I think, prevalent and more unexplainable, and especially of lately. And I think we're going to continue to see an influx of that, okay? Now keep in mind, there are good and bad of everything. There's a duality of everything. And just as there are people out there with different expressions of the duality spectrum, light versus dark, good versus bad, etc., right? They're the same in interdimensional beings, okay? So not all the ETs that we may see that may come through are the ones that are going to be the most in alignment to the highest good of all, but there are a lot of them that are connecting with us as star seeds and light beings who are really calling on the positive and highest vibrational guides who are wanting to help humanity ascend into a more peaceful and balanced and accelerated place. And so we're going to see a bit of the spiritual warfare around that, and a bit of the disclosure and discernment, and the maybe even confusion at first around that pretty soon. And we're already seeing it with the Space Force. We're already seeing it with different AI. We've got rocket ships going to space now for millions of dollars, right? So we're recognizing that we're here, right? We're here in this explorative and experiential UFO kind of lifestyle right now, right? We're really exploring that energy of life outside of this planet, and as a collective, we're going to start to find what we're looking for more and more and more, okay? So pay attention to that as well. I'm really excited about that. Y'all know I love talking starseed stuff. One of my favorite things in the whole world. So yeah, we'll just keep paying attention and seeing what comes up. I think a lot of us are getting deep visitations or feeling a lot more called to the stars. And I think that that's just such a beautiful experience. All right, loves. Okay, the knot of Isis comes up when we come to the cosmic message. It says, part of your spiritual destiny involves a special relationship with the goddess Isis. This means that not only do you have the important spiritual task of helping her thrive in this world, but you are afforded her power, protection, and abundance too. You are now deepening your connection to the goddess with the knot of Isis, okay? Now, I love this card, especially for the cosmic message, because goddess Isis is like a galactic sea queen. She literally is like the goddess of the stars and the sky, and she really is such a powerful protective force cosmically. So if you are curious and interested in tapping into more galactic connections, cosmic connections, or your cosmic self, your connection to the stars, call on goddess Isis this week. Ask her for protection and her power to explore the skies, the stars, and your cosmic self, and see what comes up in meditation or in dream time or in visualization when you do so. Even journaling about this can be really powerful. And keep in mind, I also offer cosmic connection readings. So those are only $122, and that's for if you've never had a reading with me, you get that $11 off, $133 if not. And it's a really great opportunity to connect directly to your cosmic guides and your galactic family and receive channeled messages about your connection to the stars. So one of my favorite readings to do. So if you're interested in that, this is a great week for that as well, because we are feeling a lot more cosmic connection naturally as a collective, okay? All right, y'all, so next message is all about that spiritual warfare, okay? Because we're going to start to see more of the cosmic connection showing up, we are going to start to see more duality in the multidimensional realms, okay? So we see the duality right here in the physical realm. We're pretty aware of that, right? We see it all across the board, all the political stuff, all the wars, all the hunger and starvation and injustices in the world, all the social issues, like it could go on and on, right? How we see the duality in humanity, right? But we're now starting to enter a time, like I just said, where we're cosmically connected, we're more multidimensionally aware. We're seeing all aspects of ourselves, and with that, we're also going to see more duality on those levels. We're going to be exposed to that because duality is existent everywhere. Okay, so now that we're going to new levels, we're also going to see the duality there. And that means that we're going to start to see more spiritual warfare within ourselves and outside of ourselves. We've been talking about the spiritual war for a while, that one world becoming two. We recently just talked about how those two worlds are going to eventually come back together in a more high vibrational way. But at first it has to kind of come apart to come together in a new earth way, okay? And so in the space that we're in right now, we're in the phase of the warfare part where we're going to start to see, our protection needing to be leveled up. We talked about putting our shields up and surrendering last week. So definitely, if you're feeling energetically attacked or psychically attacked or just attacked in general by anything, make sure you go watch that reading last week because you'll get a lot of bonus info for that on how to keep yourself protected. But we're going to start to see more of that show up. We're going to start to see even parts of ourselves fighting with our higher vibrational parts of ourselves, right? Our lower vibrational shadow fighting with our higher vibrational light. The lower vibrational aspects of us fighting with, the lower vibrational aspects of others, right? And all sorts of combinations of that. So pay attention to that. It's part of what's going on. It's increasing with the thinning of the veil as well, because this is the time when the spirit world also becomes more accessible. So we're seeing our higher selves and our shadow and our ego and our cosmic self and all these other aspects of us, our ancestral connections, all sorts of things showing up and showing duality, okay? So just know that the more you stay in your light, meaning your love energy, your gratitude energy, your ability to feel into the vibration of source, the more you connect spiritually and call on higher vibrational energy, the more that you'll strengthen your shield and strengthen your light to sustain you through the spiritual warfare, okay? We're also seeing that in decision making. So a lot of the spiritual warfare shows up in feeling pressures or forced to make certain decisions or do certain things. We're being called to really act on what we believe in right now instead of what we're being coerced or forced or manipulated to do by anything or anyone, because we need to really honor our sovereignty, right? Our spiritual sovereignty and our sovereignty in general, our power as individuals, okay? We are in the age of Aquarius as we're continuing to ascend into it, so we want to claim our sovereignty with that. So we're going to talk more about that with the thinning of the veil as well, the event on the 10th in the evening. I will put the link in the description to sign up for that for only $10.10, $10.10 to join that live for 2 hours in the evening of the 10th to bring in the thinning of the veil together, okay? Again, Moon Talk on Wednesday night on Instagram at 8 Readings by Rissa. I'll announce the time later. And then Bone Shaman on Friday night. I'll announce the time as well with a flyer on Instagram, and I'll probably put that in the community section of this channel as well. All right, everybody, let's go ahead and go right into the astrology messages, and then we'll wrap up with some cards, okay? How's everybody feeling? Juntao, nice to see you. Yes, good to see. Oh, wow. Candace has a birthday, as well as Kevin on October 26th. Shout out to y'all. Yes, love it. That was where the Team Scorpio came in. Okay, now I get it. I'm lining it up now. All right, so astrology. Let's talk astrology. Okay, so on the 3rd, all right, that is, today? I'm like, what is today? On the 3rd, which is today, we've got Mercury in Libra. Okay, Mercury is still retrograde in Libra, trine Jupiter in Aquarius. Okay, this is a time where we are really balancing our communication. We're noticing extremes in our communication. Sometimes we're speaking extremely out of our shadow. Sometimes we're speaking extremely out of our light, or out of our ego, or out of our spirit. And so we're really noticing that, and we're going to get more abundance by speaking from our heart about what we really desire and what we really need. Speaking on, I really want this, and I'm really feeling like I need this, right? Honoring that spiritual sovereignty and honoring how we can ask for what we need in a very balanced way, okay? Then we're also going to have, on the 6th, the Libra new moon. Okay, we talked about that. That's on Wednesday. We're going to dive deeper into that, but that's really where we're going to start to feel way more aspects of decision making, the pressures to make decisions. And these pressures to make decisions in the middle of the week with the Libra new moon are going to be pressures that really encourage us to act on what we want and act on what feels right to us, okay? These are going to be decisions where our logic and our heart space need to be in harmony, where we need to feel really good mentally about it, practically, and then we also need to feel really good in a heart-centered way, really excited or pleasured by it or peaceful about it, okay? Now, these are decisions that are also going to enforce us to do what we've been thinking or planning on doing. And no more, kind of lollygagging or, waiting around to actually embody what we've been saying we're going to embody or thinking about embodying. No, we have to do it now. We've got to make the decision and we've got to go ahead and step into it, okay? This is going to also help us to rebalance and repair anything that was tossed up or shifted in the Mercury retrograde energy. It's going to help us to kind of settle any disputes or any issues there, which is great. So we're going to make some amends on any Mercury retrograde upsets with the energy on the 6th as well. We're going to dive in even more to the Libra new moon on Wednesday for the Moon Talk on Instagram at Readings by Rissa, so definitely check that out on the live. That'll be really fun to do. There's a lot more about this Libra new moon that I want to talk about, but we'll leave it at that for now because it is a pretty intense one. Make sure you're setting your intentions, of course, with this Libra new moon. We do have the thinning of the veil, so we're going to start to feel way more intensity with this moon, way more accessibility for manifestation and for planning with our abundance and our strategy for spiritual growth and, just expansion of anything we want. We'll talk more about how to do that in the Thinning of the Veil event, and we'll talk more how to do that specifically with the moon on Wednesday for the Moon Talk on Instagram, okay? Also on the 6th, Pluto goes direct. So we've been still in Pluto retrograde literally still in Pluto retrograde since, what was that, July or June or something. I think before that, maybe, early June or end of May, honestly, I can't quite remember. But Pluto goes direct finally in Capricorn on the 6th. So this is also going to help us do more, okay? We had to really get rid of stuff. The Pluto retrograde was helping us to face whatever endings we needed to face, helping us to clear things, but also helping us to, figure out what was keeping us holding on to things we needed to clear. And now that it's going direct, it's like, okay, now do what you said you were going to do once you got through those lessons, okay? That's going to be really great. It's all going to be for our highest good, so I'm super excited for that. Then on the 7th, we're going to have Venus entering Sagittarius from Scorpio. So we're going to have a nice shift from the kind of underworld, heavier, dense energy of Scorpio that was revealing hidden truths and kind of showing us our shadows and helping us to see what we needed to see to bring light to things and clear things and end things. Now we're moving into the Sagittarius energy where we're getting to be more explorative. Now that we've let that stuff go, we're stepping into this new space of what do we want to create in this new realm? How do we want to move in this new realm? What's here for us to explore and adventure and get excited about and experience? So that's going to be really fun. And so we're going to have that for the next 4 weeks. We're going to want to focus on fun, adventure, exploration, things that make us happy and keep us social. Then on the 8th, we have the Sun in Libra, conjunct Mars in Libra. We actually have a really cool trine with this on the Libra new moon, or I'm sorry, not trine, stellium with this on the new moon, which is actually at 13 degrees. So we've got 13 degrees in Mars, 13 degrees Sun, and 13 degrees Moon, all on the new moon energy, and that's like a big shadow work energy. The number 13 is a shadow work number. It's also a divine feminine number. It's also a number for really identifying what can help us tap into the spirit world even more. And so this is really great. It's a good creative energy too. So we're going to see that. We're going to see that conjunct in Mars with the Libra, that's going to help us with our actions and rebalancing our actions even more. And that's why this reading is called Walk the Walk, because so much of the messages this week are about doing things, putting things into action. Stop talking about it, be about it, okay? Walk the walk, all right? Ceres goes retrograde in Gemini that day as well on the 8th. We're going to be exploring and clearing any dull energy in our life and really just starting to boost up our vitality in every way. And then finally, 10-10, the thinning of the veil portal opens up and starts to really get going. We actually have Saturn going direct that day in Aquarius. So yes, Saturn also goes direct. We had Pluto in retrograde, we had Saturn in retrograde, we had Jupiter in retrograde. And so now we're seeing Saturn and Pluto go direct. Saturn going direct in Aquarius on the 10th, which is going to also help us put our thoughts into actions, okay? Problem solving with that energy as well for our highest good, for the path we want to pave moving forward with this new energy that we're manifesting, okay? So exciting. So let's go ahead and just cut right to the chase, y'all. Let's go ahead and pull 3 cards to summarize everything, and I'll actually pull a new moon in Libra card as well. But let's start it off with a nice shadow word card, since we have all those 13s in this energy this week. Wow, okay, maybe not all those, all right? That was a lot, you guys. Let's get 1 card, maybe 2, Lantern deck, maybe 2. All right, it gave me 1 now, thank you. It tamed its energy a little bit. It was intense. All right, so that was for the beginning of the week. Let's see what the middle of the week has with our Healing with the Angels deck. First deck I ever got. So special. All right, end of the week. I'm feeling like the Spirit Messages deck, and then I think we're going to have to do a Mary Magdalene card for the moon. All right, so let's see what we got end of the week. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. And we've got the moon with Mary Magdalene, new moon energy. What do we got? Whoa, all right. All right, y'all. Beginning of the week, middle of the week, end of the week. Beginning of the week, wisdom in play. Our intuition knows more than we do. Literally, what did we talk about? We're expanding our intuitive gifts. We're stepping into more clarity. Okay, we're letting our intuition show us what's out of balance so we can level that and expand. We're also recognizing what we're reflecting and what other people are reflecting back to us, and we're using our intuition. And that's what's giving us our wisdom, okay? Wisdom in play. Our intuition knows more than we do. So trust your intuition this week. Trust what that energy feels like. Does it feel like it's good for you? Does it feel like it's bad for you? Does it feel exciting? Does it feel dull? And let that really start to govern more of your actions and more of your direction, okay? Look, she doesn't need to see in order to be accurate with her transformation, her shifting from one cup to the next, her ability to balance the cups, to balance the scales. She doesn't need to see to do that because she has her third eye. She has her intuitive gifts present, okay? So that's the beginning of the week. Middle of the week is the Soulmate card, okay? We're stepping into more soulmate connections. We're even manifesting more of those right now. We're starting to see how the love energy is expanding within our hearts in that connection to the spirit world and our multidimensional selves. We're also really finding more of our ability to go after what we want in love and what we want in soulmate connections and what we want in even soul family connections, soul tribe connections, those really dear people to your soul, those close kinship people. What do you really want there? And you're really honoring it and you're calling it in more in a beautiful way. That's the middle of the week. All right, end of the week, they will not stop with these intuitive cards, intuitive nudges. They're saying, please don't ignore your intuition. And if you don't know how to tap into your intuition, it is time to learn. Because if you don't learn now, you're gonna feel a little bit behind schedule. You might already feel that way, honestly, because so many people use their intuition not just for spiritual things, but for their work environment, for their family life, the way they raise their children, the way they keep themselves safe in certain experiences, the way way they communicate. There are so many ways to use your intuition, decision making, etc. And it is our best survival skill. I'm always talking about that. That's why I'm a professional intuitive and intuitive development coach. And I help so many people from all different walks of life, scholars, artists, people in the medical field. I help so many different people learn their intuition because it's all relevant in every industry, in every area, in every type of experience we have in our life. It's a God-given right to have our intuitive gifts sharp and ready and available to us. And if they're not ready and available to you right now, you may be greatly plagued with some of that resistance or that confusion or that separation from yourself, where you're just not understanding something's missing. You're not quite getting what you need to do. You're not quite feeling all the way aligned, all the way sure of yourself. It may be because you haven't developed your intuition, and that development would actually show you a lot of the answers you've been trying to find, right? So if you are interested in intuitive development, send me an email, readingsbyrissa@gmail.com. I am starting to collect people on the waiting list for when I actually open up the new enrollment for my coaching program. I've had 8 graduates this season, and about 6 of them last season. So lots of people just stepping into their gifts just through this program and really getting a lot of benefit. So if you're interested in that, let me know. But follow the intuitive nudges at the end of the week, y'all, okay? It says intuition is the language of the soul. We are all born aware with a profound sense of inner knowing. Intuition is one of the greatest gifts we possess, which keeps us connected to our higher selves, the universe, and our divine spirit. Okay, pretty amazing. All right, new moon in Libra card, Revelation from the Mary Magdalene deck. Okay, this is us stepping into new and heightened awareness. The revelation of our multidimensional self, the revelation of what needs to be in balance, the revelation of our inner desires as we manifest all the things that we're meant to with the wisdom at play, and just the revelation of our own spirit, this heightened, more mature, and more aligned aspect of ourselves that's helping us to move through our life experience with so much grace and ease, okay? So honor the way that you are having those revelations of self in all of the ways the roller coaster of duality is happening. Make sure you're also walking the walk as part of your revelation, and using your intuition to really make the steps strong and stable, okay? How's everybody feeling? Oh, good to see you, Leslie. Happy birthday. Woo woo. Sister. Aniela, hi. Nice to see you. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. I love you so much. I'm so grateful to have you here every single week at 1:11 p.m. Central Time on YouTube. Definitely check me out on Instagram at Readings by Rissa. I'll be putting in the description to sign up for that Thinning of the Veil Queen of Heaven 10/10 event. Also, check out on Friday the Bone Shaman. I'll be posting the actual BQH clip, and then I'll also be posting the description of that clip when I'll be going live that night for an actual live Bone Shaman reading, which I know a lot of you wanted to see when I did it on Flava a couple of months ago, but now I'm going to start doing it on YouTube. And it's going to be really fun. So I'll see you there. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll talk to you soon.